Hi, I'm the man on the mic.
And I'm the guy on the bike.
And this is the Velo29 podcast. Good morning, Rich.
Hi, Joe.
Mate, sunglasses on, bikes down, speedos out. Maybe not. It's the summer holiday episode. How are you, pal?
Hello. Enjoying my summer holiday.
Yeah. We haven't spoken for a short while because there's been a bit of a break in events and stuff. So how are you doing? Sounds like you look very chilled and relaxed, actually, mate. It's the most chilled I've seen you in a long time. Look at you. I'm surprised you haven't got your shades on now.
I have got my speedos on.
Hey, budgie smuggler.
Position the
yes,
camera.
it's the budgie smuggler episode. No, it's not. You're all right, everybody.
No.
Panic
not. Not that kind of
speedos
podcast.
And mankinis are not on display. You're okay.
No, not that kind of event.
Ever.
Oh, it's great, but we've had the busiest period ever. I'm a busy guy anyway. I make myself that way.
You love it. You love it
most of the time. Yeah.
Yeah.
But we've had 14 weeks, and not just me. Everybody who works with us. We've had to batter away, and then the week that there is an event, it's a busy week from start to finish. And so when you've got all of those events back to back, it inevitably takes it out of you. And end an event Saturday, you have a bit of a respite Sunday, but that's down in the unit and getting things sorted. And then Monday morning, you've got to get up and start the ball rolling for the next event. And you're not just working on. Yeah. So it's great. It's really nice to. I get up. I'm still working. I still do sort of a 9 to 5. But I'm getting up at 5 o'clock. I'm going out on my bike early so that I don't get grief from Elliot, my 4-year-old. That when he wakes up, I'm not around. So I get a couple of hours in the morning, and that just sets me up lovely for the day. I think that my mentality is much more relaxed from having ridden my bike. And it's been beautiful up here in Yorkshire on these recent sunny mornings, although it's changing a little bit now. But, it's great. Weekends off. And as much as I enjoy doing the events, I am enjoying having a bit of respite.
Yeah, absolutely. And like I say, it's not just an opportunity to kind of physically stop, but it's that brain wearing thing as well, because I know that you're a thinker and you're a developer and you're always saying, well, what can we do next? And that's hard to do when you're in the middle of something else, isn't it? So what I'm expecting from today's podcast, Rich, is that you've got some new ideas, mate, because that's what normally happens when we regroup after a bit of time off. I mean, we actually haven't spoken for kind of 4 or 5 weeks. So
just after the beast, wasn't it?
Just after the beast, yes. So how are things and where are we at?
Well, we're working. I'm still working, and like you say, the idea when I'm riding my bike, some of the ideas come, or maybe I've thought of like a concept but can't really get the details of it, and now with the pressure off, those details start to surface.
So we have got some meat on the bone, so to speak.
Yeah, and something like we'll come on to it, but there's an idea I've had for ages, and where to have it, and then the answer's there. But until you take your mind off the pressure of the daily stuff, that answer doesn't present itself. You go for the first ride, and there it is. There's the answer. So it's
so before we talk about what's new, where are you at with regards to what's established? Do you feel like you've kind of got that calendar re-established now? Because obviously things changed and the pandemic changed not just when you do things but how you do things. I mean, do you feel like you're kind of there now? Are events going to go back to original dates, or are they going to stay where they are? Where are we at with that?
Well, we've almost got next year's calendar nailed, which is not unusual for this time of year. And there are a couple of changes, and there's some stuff that that we've learned. So things that it's always you get your big events in position. So Cheshire Cat, Tour of the Peak, York Leeds York. We typically line those up and then build the rest of the calendar around it. And you'll find that something like the Daffodils, where the headquarters was a pain, that moves dramatically over the years. Some events are dictated by other external things. We try to not really have that, but Stockton, for example, was always a weekend that the whole calendar, the whole British cycling and everything dictated. So, and it pans out like that. But because we've added things like 3 days in Yorkshire, which has to be the bank holiday weekend in May, and then the
So that, I
Queen.
presume that's definitely back then. That's happening.
100%, yeah. But the bank holiday moved to the Queen's bank holiday, and so
Okay.
the extra day. So, but we've definitely got that. York or Lincoln 262, massively important event now that was new this year. So that's got to have a date the week before the Beast. And so what you find is the calendar kind of sorts itself out,
Right.
really. We won't make it as busy ever again as this year was. I think that everybody was just, give me an event, and we were the same. So that block of time from middle of April to early July, people just wanted to ride with us. Normally, our customers have to have excuses with partners at home, and they don't want to ride a sportive every weekend. So we normally do no more than 2 on, 1 off. So next year's calendar looks a bit more like that, but it's getting ever more busy because of these new events that we've added.
And I know the Cheshire Cat is still to come yet for this year, but will that go back to where it normally is?
Yeah, I think it works. That last weekend in March, other than clashing with Mother's Day, it works. The previous organisers, Kilo to Go, they moved it into May, and it never worked then. September's a funny month because, and more so this year, but there's some big things in September. And if you've had the summer holidays, people want to have that month of events. So you get loads of stuff in September, and it doesn't make sense for us to put the Cheshire Cat head to head with all Great North Run. Is London Marathon's going to stay in September? Maybe is it
October, beginning of October?
Yeah.
Whether it will stay there, we don't know yet. But yeah, 3rd of October.
Tour of Britain's always that.
Tour of Britain, September. Women's tours now October at the moment.
A lot of our staff work on those events as well, so absolutely. That makes it difficult. So all of that, it makes sense to put it back in March. So it will forevermore assume its March position.
Good. So tell me more about what's new then.
Yeah, Sportive Hill Climb Championships. So
Sportive Hill Climb Championships. Okay.
Yeah,
so I mean, kind of aiming more at an amateur rider rather than a professional hill climb or whatever.
Yeah, I think by the racing fraternity, we'll get a bit of flack about this, but life's all about experiences, isn't it? And there's a national hill climb championships, there's a national time trial championships. They're full of people who have a lifetime of racing. You've got to get the times, the results to get entry, and all of that kind of thing. And then they're incredibly, whilst people who enter our champs will be very competitive, it wants to be open to people who are just looking for the experience.
And you showed that the 3 days to Yorkshire was the pinnacle, wasn't it? Of showing that there is that kind of middle place. There is that kind of, we want to be competitive, we want to be as pro as we can be, but we're not. So we want to make that work, and there is that gap.
There is this like racing cyclists, and I'm sure they wouldn't understand it without having the experience that we've had, but they're quite elitist, and they think the only people who can enjoy racing is this very defined
elite level.
But like and those people, they don't particularly like watching other people race, and they don't do a great deal to encourage other people to race and facilitate and that kind of thing. And you don't have to be an actor to enjoy going to the theatre, do you? It's open to everybody. And
there is a massive Amdram area where thousands of people enjoy doing a bit of acting on the side, and that's the same equivalent. They don't have to be pros to do it, but they're still going to do a gig or do a show or whatever.
Play guitar, you don't have to, you can go buy a guitar, you don't have to be in a band and stand on the stage, and it's that experience.
It does have to be some level of ability, and that's the thing. This is not ground level, anybody can do it. This is somewhere in the middle where these guys love it, it's their passion, it's their life, but they're not elite. What opportunities can you give them? I think it's great.
You can be as competitive as you want, or you can. It was inspired by 3 days in Yorkshire, and
I thought it would be.
how much people enjoyed riding down that start ramp, being commentated and filmed, being broadcast live, and then finishing, coming to the podium, getting the medal, and all of that kind
and
of
the
thing.
community that came with it as well, that kind of camaraderie and
Being able to compare their performance with somebody who was taking it super seriously, and I think there's a place in the market for that, and this championships is really a sort of an evolution of that. So and this is what it has, it has to be a hill, clearly. It has to be something we can close.
Yeah.
So close the road. There has to be a lot of parking there. And I scratched my head since the tour of Yorkshire to think what it was. And then a light bulb came on, Harewood Hill Climb. So it's used for motorsport, but it's closed all of the time. It has a lot of parking. It is a hill. It's well-maintained tarmac. Cars race up there, so it's not got monstrous potholes and trees falling on it and all that kind of thing. So there, contacted them. It's available. The price worked, and we're down there on Monday to have a look and film a promo video.
And that's happening this year, I take it.
24th of October, open for entries now. I've not set a limit on it. Well, we will have to, because people have to go off a minute. And if 5,000 people enter, we can't. There's not enough minutes in the day, especially in October. But get entered.
Well, all I want to say, Rich, is that the last hill climb that you did during the 3 days in Yorkshire, I became the man on the timing, not just the man on the mic. And I just want to put that out there. This multi-skill ability that's come through this year. And I just want to put that out there. Man.
We went to the Leinster training, you didn't we? So we should capitalize upon that new skill set. But yeah, it will be a start ramp. We'll try and make as much kind of razzmatazz as possible. So you'll get a start time like you did on the 3 days. You'll go down the start ramp. You'll race. We'll have a mid position timing point. You'll cross the finish line. It'll all be filmed with our good friend Carl Lawrenson commentating on it, as always. That'll go out live everywhere, and then it'll be shown on the big screen at the finish. We'll have the live results available. The person who's the fastest at that moment in time will take the hot seat. If you watch the Olympics, you'll have seen the fastest rider of the time trial sat on the hot seat with a camera looking at him. And then when he's displaced, or he or she is displaced, the next the fastest rider goes there, and the man or woman who's sat there at the finish is the winner. They'll then take to the podium. They'll get trophies. So we'll have King of the Mountains and Queen of the Mountains. We won't differentiate by age groups at this stage. We'll just do, the fastest man, the fastest female. They'll get trophies. They'll go on the podium. That'll be filmed and everything. And we'll have a paddock at the end with, all of our usual stuff. You can buy some drinks. We might even extend the beer so you can buy a bottle or a glass of champagne, and that bit of kind of glitzy. I love that sort of 70s, 60s era of motorsport. So, if you've watched Rush, the very good film and all the stuff that they brought to Formula One, bit of that kind of thing. So,
bit of razzmatazz. Absolutely.
Be a really good event.
Really good. And like you say, it's nice that it's developed off the back of something else that's new and something else that's worked as well. So entries are open and people can sign up now.
Indeed. Yeah, please do. And the first person to enter will be number one. So you will take to the hot seat, even if you walk up. Because you'll so if you want to enter, get entered, yeah.
Get entered now.
If you're number 120, you genuinely probably have to be the winner to get in the hot seat.
To sit there. And the winners that come in last, they don't really get to sit there, because I've obviously commentated on World Championship time trials, and by the time we've got them to the stage, we're presenting the medals, so they don't actually ever get to sit on the hot seat.
When we did the time trial champs at Stockton in 2016, and Alex Dowsett was off last, wasn't he? So actually it was my mate Chris Smart who was the fastest for ages, and he sat there in the baking sun, absolutely goosed, for an hour or more than an hour, knowing full well that Dowsett had beat him. And he goes, "Can I go now?" "No, you can't stay there." because it was live on terrestrial telly, and then Dowsett took 7 minutes out of him, I think.
Yeah.
So yeah, but that happens. It'll be a bit more relaxed at our event.
Yeah, and you know, what do you think about those that will take it really, really seriously, and then the others are going, oh, well, that's not fair, he's a ringer, or does that not bother you? Is that just kind of part of how this works?
I thought about things
what would
like,
you do if, say, Dowsett or Geraint Thomas rock up and decide they want a little training opportunity? I mean,
I thought about things like you've got to have ridden a sportive before, and I thought like, okay, we can vet that by you must have ridden a Velo29 sportive. And then I thought, maybe that's a little bit too, it's not really how we work.
It's restrictive. It's restrictive.
Yeah, it's overly restrictive. And we're always wanting new customers who do different things with us. And so then I thought, you've got to bring a sportive finishers medal from any organizer or something like that. But then I thought, to your example, if Geraint Thomas did turn up, that's just brilliant for everybody who everyone else has taken part. You can say, you know, I rode this 1 kilometer climb in 2 minutes 50 seconds, and I was only 30 seconds slower than Geraint Thomas. So you know, something like that. I think that's really exciting.
I was the winner of the non-elites.
Yeah, that kind of thing. Yeah, and as it matures over the years, maybe we'd have different categories, but I just think it's, you know, if you take 10 minutes and the winner takes 2, what does it matter?
Exactly. You mean, I've seen those videos, you know, where the guys have done this tiny little event and Bradley Wiggins has shown up, or, you know, Alex has shown up. And like you say, people love it. They
just adds to it, doesn't it? Yeah, it just adds to it. So I think it'd be awesome.
Good, exciting stuff. Anything else you want to kind of share before we wrap up today?
No, I don't think so. It's nice to get in touch with everybody again. And you know, we've learned over the years that sort of interaction is what we do well. And that we are, you know, that giving people the feeding the enthusiasm of what's going to come is as important as what comes, I think. And so working on stuff like that and doing the raffles, that's a great way to keep in touch with people, whereas this time of year we wouldn't normally, and that kind of thing. So, you know, people, if you're out riding your bikes, send us some pictures. We'd love to see it. You in your jerseys or in your pain cave with your medals and all that kind of thing. We'd love to see it. So get in touch with us, because it's always nice to hear from you guys.
Yeah, I mean, our favourite thing, we've talked about it a lot on the podcast, is that when we get to turn up at an event and people go, oh, I've been listening, or I've been watching, or, you know, and you get that connection with people.
Yeah, here's the bike I won.
Exactly, we've seen that time and time again.
Kind of thing, yeah. So, yeah, please do give us a shout. We love to see you at the events, but equally, it's nice to hear from you offline as well.
Brilliant. Well, we'll keep in touch, and I'm sure we'll do another podcast very, very soon. But in the meantime, everybody, stay safe, be well, and we'll see you soon.
Cheers, Joe. Cheers, everybody. Bye for now.
Bye.